Welcome to the Investment Roundtable. Today we're hosting two lovely people. Thank you so much for joining us, taking off time to come and listen and learn and grow in your business and in your personal life. Today, I'm very honored to have with me Paul and Jonathan, two lovely young people who are here to tell us about really what they're doing in their business, what they're doing in their lives, but to generally discuss this topic of, is it important to have a financial goal? Is it something you should do for yourself? Is it something you should do for your business? And sometimes you're saying, but I'm still young. I'm just out of school. Should I have a financial goal? Is it important? That's what we're here to discuss. So allow me to welcome Paul. Paul, tell us a bit about yourself, and then also Jonathan will introduce himself.
Well, thank you. My name is Paul Karunji. I serve as an investment representative at Legacy Hills Investments. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for being here, Paul.
You're welcome.
Jonathan, who are you?
I'm Jonathan Kayongo. I'm a business owner. Yeah. I also do some side jobs as well. I'm also part of the Legacy team. And I'm grateful to be on this side of the mic.
Lovely, 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 lovely. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
Good.
Yeah, we're celebrating Liberation Day yesterday. How did yours go?
It just phoned me home.
Super.
The same as the previous ones, home, just watching on TV.
Yeah. I thought the young people are supposed to be more busy than that on a public holiday.
Not on a Sunday.
Just resting.
You are resting. Great. So today we want to talk about really goal setting. Is it something important to do? Should we have financial goals? So have you set any goals for this year? Jonathan, have you set any goals?
Yes, at the start of the year. I don't want to get into those goals.
Yeah.
But at the start of the year, I did have a draft down of what I want to achieve personally, and something small on the business side. Not so much known there. Of course, many people have businesses, but we don't know what's the next step to grow to something bigger. Basically that's it on my side.
Okay. So you set out some things you want to do. We'll hear a bit about them a little later.
Short term and long term.
Exactly. Paul, what's your big goal this year? What are you setting out to do?
Well, I've always had this in my mind: plan to fail, or you fail to plan. Yeah. So this year, I'm just done with my bachelor's, so I think I should just go for my master's and maybe have a second source of finance besides the salary that I'm getting now.
So you want to start doing your master's? That takes a bit of money, I imagine.
Yes, that is why I want to get a second source of financing, so that at least even if the parents can give you something to top up, you already have something that can sustain you throughout.
All right, super. And Jonathan, which goals did you set for your business? What are you planning to do this year?
Yes, so just a brief about the business. I'm not complaining where I am, but I feel like I need to do more. And I thought I could do everything alone. Of course, I do have a partner. We ponder about stuff, but sometimes we need an external influence.
Okay.
So we realized that just recently when we tried to set goals, and it wasn't really adding up. It was the same routine as before. Do this, marketing, aggressive this and that. And really, it's the same loop. We're going to get stagnant, and we're looking at growth. So goal-wise, I would say it's the same routine, just thinking about it now. And I would say there's no goal really compared to what we have been.
You don't know clearly what that is. Can you tell us a bit what businesses exactly do you do?
So it's an interior design house, probably getting to be one of the biggest in Uganda soon. Solely we started focusing on mirrors. Just mirrors, all types of mirrors, your mirror plug. That's actually the name of the business, Mirror Plug. But we moved past mirrors. We're now doing interiors as well. We're starting with bathrooms. We did a few projects last year. They went good, really great. And there's some growth. But I feel we need to get higher from where we are. And we're still having some challenges with setting up goals.
No, I think Jonathan, you raise a good point, which many business owners actually face, where actually you know what you want to do, but one, possibly you haven't written it down. Two, you haven't made it clear what it is. So let's say you did 20 bathrooms in 2024. Do you want to do 40 bathrooms in 2025? Because that kind of gives direction, that clarity of exactly what you are chasing. And I think for me, it's one of the important things which you bring up, that sometimes as a business owner, you actually haven't said clearly what it is. And you can keep flying, possibly you can keep looking after your expenses, but you possibly deny the business an opportunity to have a clarity of where it is going. And I think that's something which you need to decide. So is that a picture which you believe with your partner will crystallize within the, I mean, this is the end of January. Do you think in February it will crystallize?
Yes, we do have certain goals when it comes to sales. But like I said, it's a bit of monotonous. It's the same routine since last year. And when it comes to actual goals for the business, I look at things like insurance. I feel like we're not yet at that threshold, but we do need it. I don't know if you need to be at a certain threshold. I know I've been talking to many business owners about insurance and all this and that, but now I'm the other person on the other side of the mic, and I have no clue. So looking at insurance, there's a bit of taxation as well.
Yeah, taxation
We
is a
have to
big
see
one.
how to go about that. We are growing really fast. So we are going to be looking at VAT in the near time to come.
Exactly.
So there are certain establishments that have to be put in place. Now, that's what we don't know yet. Still working around it, and I would like to know how I would go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you raise a very important idea there, that sometimes the business is growing faster than the vision which you are playing out, and possibly in a business like yours, many opportunities come. You are in mirrors, bathrooms come. Someone will say, but the compounds are better. You come and do some gardening, and someone says, but can you roof the house? And then you lose. So one of the real reasons why you need to clarify, crystallize what your business is about and where it is going is so that you make sure you keep it on the rails. Otherwise, as businesses grow, they risk being derailed. You possibly started in interior, and it's okay to start interior design and go into other businesses, but at least in the medium term, you should know that this is the direction which I'm chasing. And I hope that's a conversation you will have with your partner to see how you can be able to crystallize that. So, Paul, you talked about education being your goal. Why do you want to do a master's?
Well, I feel like in life it's always better to enhance with education, especially when you're looking at having a future career that you want to lean on or you want to hold on. So I feel like enhancing your education is always nice to do.
So education certainly is a good thing to
Yes.
to get more education. I totally agree. Have you found out how much it will cost?
Not yet, because so I had the goal, but you always have that ambition of having that education, but you still have the fear because one, there is no money yet, so you're still just looking at saving up to that goal.
I think one of the important things about goal setting is also to crystallize the idea.
True.
So if you say, I want to do a master's, which master's is it? Which universities am I looking at? How much will it cost? How much time does it take? All those things are important when you are setting the goal because they help you point clearly to where you are going. Otherwise, if you set a general goal, I want to do a master's, it is not focused enough. The moment goal setting is a lot about focusing, and you say, you know what, I want to do a master's in business administration, or a master's in development studies, whatever it might be. And then you can crystallize. So you say, I want to go to this university. It is possibly this much. This is what I am chasing. Because if you wait for the money to come, how can it come yet you don't know how much you are looking for? So it's important for you to kind of put a picture on where exactly you are going. But also, it is equally important to answer the question of why. Why are you setting this goal? And as a young person, we all get temptations to say, I'm going to study a bit more. I need to get a master's. But why? Why exactly? Does your current employer need the master's?
Not really.
Why are you doing it? Because the moment you answer the question of why, you may notice that actually what you need is not a master's degree, but some kind of certification right now in your employment or in the work which you are chasing. And sometimes we set goals because if I finish school, I'm expected to be able to do this. So ask yourself, what is the why? And that's one thing which I possibly leave with you, to say, why are you chasing this goal? Because if you can answer that question, you put yourself in a position where you say, this is my why, and this is exactly where I am going. I'll turn to you, Jonathan. And Jonathan, we just finished 2024. Did you set any goals then? And which challenges did you face achieving them?
I would say I've achieved 90% of the goals I set for 2024, and this was by October. Yeah, by October I'd achieved everything. Of course, some are beyond us. We had that extra thing. We were like, but if I hit it, I can do this as well. So that's more like a by the way. It didn't come through, but I did hit all my goals. I would say all my goals, because the other is more like can be transferred to the next year. So that's on my deck for this year. It's actually a priority now. Yes. So I actually personally this year I do want to go ahead with my studies. I've been went to ACCA and I just want to go ahead and finish this year. So that's my primary goal this year, besides pushing the business. Yeah.
Super. Did you face any challenge achieving these goals?
Yes, of course, there are challenges, but we tend to forget about the challenges after the goal is done.
You ticked them.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, if you achieved 90% of your goals, were they challenging enough?
Super. Super
Because it's a very important question, because one of the key things in goal setting is to make sure that what you set out to do, there is actually a possibility of failure. Because, sometimes people set goals which are easy to achieve. You say the goal is to wake up in the morning. It's actually quite simple to wake up in the morning. But you're sometimes asking yourself, did I push myself as hard as I should? Because one of the signs that the goal is a good goal is the challenge which you go through to achieve it. So if you achieve goals and you feel like the challenge was not that much, it's possibly a sign that the goal was not as challenging as it should be. So if you give yourself, for example, you're a business owner, if you give yourself a target to do 2 bathrooms a month, and you say I did them within a week, my comment would be possibly the target shouldn't have been 2 bathrooms. It should have been 8. So that by halfway the month you are feeling the pressure of that. And that's possibly something you need to reflect on this year. Have you pushed Jonathan as hard as he should be pushed?
I think I have just a brief about myself. I've had multiple businesses that have failed in the past, despite being starting them at a young age. And I learned one thing: I do need people. So with the current business, I do have a partner. We share risk. When it comes to my personal goals as well, I do have a partner as well. So the risk is kind of distributed. It's easier to push as two or as a team than alone. So when it comes to challenges, it's more like I do have this other person that's with me through it. Yeah,
who will work with you.
Yes, so it's easier to split the risks involved. If it's pulling up funds, we do it together. Same with business. We do have a team. We work together, be it a loss, cover it together. And this has been, I think, I've used the advantage. I've taken it as advantage and worked around it with the people I'm with. So it's a lot easier to face challenges when you know it's
There's someone you're working with.
Yes, so that's how I've been going about with life.
I like the word risk management. I think that's a good word, because you're saying, how do I make sure that I reduce this risk and I manage it? Super. Paul, your last year, did you achieve what you had set out to do? What challenges did you face?
Oh, I should not call them challenges because last year I majorly focused on education, and I am happy to say that I completed my bachelor's, and that is why in this new year I'm looking at the master's.
Okay. Were there other goals?
Not really, I just focused on education because I really needed to get this degree. Yeah.
That's an interesting argument. And you see, and possibly for the people in school, it's something which you have to reflect on. When you're in school, generally you are doing one thing. You are going to school and that's what you do.
Exactly.
Real life is a bit more different because you have to do the masters, you have a job which you have to do well. Possibly you said you want to have a second source of income. That is something. And sometimes you don't have the luxury of saying that I'm only focusing on one thing. And you may need to ask yourself, now how am I going to balance? Because you see now, even though you start your education, are you going to let go of your job?
No.
So that means you have to balance those two forces. And the question you need to ask yourself is, what challenges will that bring up, and how will I manage the risk, as Jonathan mentioned? Because it is critical for you to appreciate that sometimes you have the luxury of having one thing you're focusing on, but then you have to ask yourself, how do I push and keep going in a specific direction? So this new year, you notice it's not just the education goal. You have the goal of getting a second income. What's your game plan there? How are you going to get a second income?
Well, usually when you want something, you write it down. That is how I've always done my thing. So I have various goals and business ideas, ventures written down that I hope to achieve. So once I've resolved my mind, worked upon it, I think I'll just come up with one and focus on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Writing down is a good start, but it has to be a bit more than that. You have to write and get things out of the paper. I think, Jonathan, you will agree that the things have to leave the paper and actually get done. Though writing is a good place to start, isn't it?
Yes.
On my end, I'm not good at writing, but I'm good at talking. And usually, business-wise, my partner does write that down. And back at home, my partner does write that down and keeps reminding me every day. Yeah.
Super. So, Jonathan and Paul, our time has run out. Just share with us your final remarks. What would you tell a young person out there who is struggling with their goals? What message would you leave them?
We have to look at first your niche. What are you trying to give to the people? Let's say you're doing business. Is it changing a life? Because things that are changing life or anything around us do make an impact on lives, and they tend to sell better than anything. For example, medical care, that's changing lives. So you expect that to have a cash flow. So before you say, oh, I want to do this, I want to sell clothes, everyone is doing that. Think about it. Are you changing lives? Are you starting your own brand? Is it something that's going to speak out, maybe push a certain agenda, or you're just doing something for money?
Super.
Also, business and personal funds are totally different.
Yeah.
I can
So
be
separate
broke, super broke, personally, but my business is doing good. Yes, and you have to have discipline, financial discipline. Be careful with the profits of the business, because people my age tend to just run to the bar and do this. Then later I've seen it, they're like, oh, I wasted so much time.
Yeah.
Yes, but through this conversation, I've only gotten one word. From, like I said, business, sometimes you need an outsider to give you an insight on anything that you need to do. So the one thing I've gotten in mind is roadmap.
Roadmap, yeah. How you are getting there.
Yeah.
Roadmap. Yes.
Well,
In the next 30 seconds.
what I can say to the young people watching us today is, first of all, you have to be with priorities in your life. So when you're planning, you should have priorities so that when you get money, start with this and maybe let the others be for the next month or the next year. And then also having passion for what you're doing. I guess if someone starts a business and they're passionate about it, they'll really thrive through. Yeah, that is what I can say.
True.
Super. Great. Thank you so much, Paul and Jonathan, for blessing us today. And you have have a roadmap, have passion at what you're doing. Make sure those goals are out there and you are seeking to achieve them. If you have watched the session today, really ask yourself, what am I chasing? What is that goal I am chasing? That's what the Investment Roundtable today has been about. My name is Ronald Mukasa, and it has been such an honor to be your host today.